What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. Hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I'm here today to do my top 20 albums of 2015. This is number 20 through number 11. Pretty much a similar situation as to how things were accomplished last year. Very much a lot of listening to albums, a lot of putting albums back, taking albums out and replacing them with other different albums. It's been a very hard and difficult sort of process for a list like this. But all in tune, I have come up with 20 albums that have not only made the biggest impact in my listening habits, but also made the biggest impact in my life this year in general. I really hope that you are satisfied with what I'm going to be talking to you about today. I'm pretty sure you'll be surprised by some of these picks, but these are the ones that really made me the happiest. So, reminder that this list is opinion, not fact. This is my list, not yours, and I am dedicating this entire list to the memory of the late, great Jim Sadist, aka Jim Kanya, of Nunslaughter, Schnauzer, Graveworm. You are an absolute legend and pioneer. It was an honor to have met you at Hell's Head Bash. I am sad that you are no longer with us, and you have made such an incredible impact and indentation in the metal world. You are a very beloved person, and it has very much shown itself how beloved you truly are. We love you, we miss you, rest in peace, and continue to raise hell in the afterlife. Let's get this party started. Coming in at number 20. Evangelist, Enthralled to the Void of Bliss. What an insane and marvelous record that Evangelist have put out with this album. It seemed as though with every single album that Evangelist had put out, they were becoming a lot more risky in their style, a lot more dangerous in their musical approaches. Pretty much not wanting to sound the same, but take deeper risks, album after album. And with Enthralled to the Void of Bliss, they do that. They dive deep into the black death metal rabbit hole, and then go deeper and deeper than that. And you hear that on songs like Arcane Manifestia, Gatekeeper's Scroll, and then the closing track, Meditation of Transcendental Evil. I mean, both Matron Thorn and Ascaris deliver some incredibly meaningful music to be represented on here. I really love that how smart and intelligent a lot of the musical compositions are here, not just from a black and death metal standpoint, but for the elements that you don't really see coming, like the one track on here that sounds like straight up ambient trip hop. That really throws you for a loop. And if I'm not mistaken, in 2016, they're probably going to dive deeper into that sort of sound. But it'll still have the Evangelist sort of feelings to it. But this is a really crazy record, and I appreciate what both Matron Thorn and Ascaris bring with Enthralled to the Void of Bliss. I think this is a very memorable record, and I'm looking forward to them having a very insane 2016 ahead of them. So, number 20 on my list is Enthralled to the Void of Bliss by Evangelist. Coming in at number 19, AdNauseam, Nihil Quam Vaquitas Ordinatum Est. Try saying that album 5 times fast. But anyway, this album pretty much left a void for anybody who wanted to hear something new from Ulcerate this year. So instead of Ulcerate, you got something from AdNauseam. And this is a very intriguing sort of band. They had a very meat and potatoes sort of sound in the beginning, and they were gone under a different sort of name. But then they changed their name to AdNauseam, and they completely changed their sound. And I believe that this was changed for the better. This is pretty much a smart and hard-working example of what an oppressive death metal record sounds like. Very intense, very technical, very smart, visually, lyrically. These guys know how to create something very special with a record like this, and if you are a fan of any of that kind of style of death metal, AdNauseam brought something really amazing with this debut. I hope they keep it going, and I hope they take even deeper risks than that. So coming in at number 19 is AdNauseam with Nihil Quam Vaquitas Ordinatum Est. Coming in at number 18, Sewer Goddess, Painlust. I never thought an industrial release would enthrall me or captivate me more than this one. But this one seriously did. I mean, it's very intriguing to know how far a project like this has come along. It was pretty much straightforward death industrial power electronics in the beginning, but then once you add full band members, you get a more sludgier, doomier, metallic sort of idea being brought forward with Painlust, and it shows itself in the 6 songs that are on here. It's a very short album, but you're gonna get what you pay for with an album like Painlust. I mean, songs like My Grave, Black Meat and Bones, it's just really dark and twisted stuff. I mean, the industrial elements are there and in full force, and they sound phenomenal. The vocal work is incredible. The riffs are just so damn heavy to behold on a record like this. It really does feel smart and very much right for an album like this. I applaud Kristen Rose for getting together a group of people to help make this band and project sound that much more scary and that much more intimidating. So number 18 on my list is Painlust by Sewer Goddess. Coming in at number 17, Drowning the Light from the Abyss. 2015 was the year in which I finally got it when it comes to a band like Drowning the Light. I may have heard one song a few years ago, and I may have written it off and not paid too much attention to it. But later on in life, I finally got to give this band a better opportunity to listen to his stuff. And I appreciate and respect Asgore a great deal more for a project like this. Very raw black metal, but respectful for its roots and for its craft. And From the Abyss is no different. You get the elements in which you are best accompanied and familiar with Drowning the Light, but you get those almost dark, folky, serene sort of moments that you really don't see coming, especially from a musical and a vocal sort of standpoint. I really think it's a triumphant sort of listen for a Drowning the Light record, but it still feels like raw black metal done properly. I mean, when you read along to the lyrics, you get enthralled by an album like this. From the Abyss is really another incredible piece of Australian black metal, and I'm looking forward to hearing more great things from Drowning the Light. This band has my support now more than ever before. So number 17 on my list is From the Abyss by Drowning the Light. Coming in at number 16, Dødheimsgard, A Umbra Omega. Dødheimsgard are a very legendary, well-known and well-respected band when it comes to Norwegian black metal. And their first couple of releases showcased how important they are to the Norwegian black metal world. But then later on in their career, their sound took an incredibly drastic and ballsy change, adding more progressive and avant-garde sort of elements to their sound. I mean, think if you will to what Enslaved did later on in their career. But I would honestly pick the last several Dødheimsgard releases in comparison to what Enslaved had put out. I mean, this is progressive, weird, insane, but yet the metal influences are very, very much relevant here. I mean, this is some of the fastest, well-timed drumming you've ever heard on a release this year. I mean, it's just so marvelous to listen to this guy drum his head off here. And in addition, the music itself is very elaborate, very well timed. I love the guitar playing. I love the almost quizzical, weird vocal deliveries being represented on here. I think it sounds awesome to listen to. I like this vocalist's delivery and jaunting style. It just sounds very fun to listen to. And it's a lengthy record, so come into this with an open mind and just be prepared to be ready for what twists and turns you get with a record like A Umbra Omega. So number 16 on my list is Dødheimsgard's A Umbra Omega. Check it out if you're into black metal or any sort of avant-garde progressive stuff. Coming in at number 15, Plutonian Shore, Sphere of Gabora. This band seriously made a change for the better when they decided to eliminate a lot of the atmospheric keyboard elements of their previous works to strip themselves down just a little bit and become more traditional, straight to the point sort of black metal. And I believe with Sphere of Gabora, they did that to a T. The drum work, the guitar riffs, the vocals, the bass tones, it really does feel like authentic and genuine Texas black metal. And they really did step their game up big time from a release like Lunar Rites. I mean, the production work on here is fantastic. It really does bring out the best moments of this band. And just the overall stories to be told here. This is straight up black metal, done properly and done with a lot of love and respect. So I'm really happy for Plutonian Shore, and they are going to make their presence felt in Texas black metal for many more years to come. So number 15 on my list is Sphere of Gabora by Plutonian Shore. Coming in at number 14, Abyssal, Anti-Catastasis. Boy, oh boy, did this album take a while for me to get really deep into. I was such a huge fan of this band's last full-length album, which I won't try to pronounce because I'm pretty sure I'll butcher it, but you know what album that is, and that was on a previous top 20 list of mine if I'm not mistaken. And pretty much in time, this project has had the cover blown on them, so to speak. I mean, I believe this is really just a one-person project underneath many different hoods and ideas. Regardless of whether or not it's just one person or two persons or three persons, they deliver some incredibly deep and doomy sort of death metal. And with Anti-Catastasis, they continue on in that sort of weird, mysterious sort of formula, and they deliver some music that's just extremely crushing from the very get-go. I mean, the cornucopian, A Casual Landscape, to even the closing track, it just feels so deep. There's a lot of deepness going on with a release like Anti-Catastasis, and very much if you are into what Abyssal had put out in their past two releases, you'll find something to enjoy with Anti-Catastasis. Like I said, this took some time to let this fully grow on me, but I really had a fantastic time listening to Anti-Catastasis, and you will enjoy this too if you are into death metal or doom or black metal or any of those miscellaneous assorted styles. So, once again, number 14 on my list is Anti-Catastasis by Abyssal. Coming in at number 13, 6, De Prestigis Angelorum. As many of you have known or realized, I am a very big fan of the bands Eosoth and Antaeus, and pretty much any band or project that happens to be involved with those said bands. 6 is another band that really showcases that weird, unorthodox, carefully crafted sort of style of black metal. And they bring it so here with De Prestigis Angelorum. A lot of the songs are done in the native French language, so I really won't try to pronounce or attempt to pronounce a lot of the song titles or the song names, but you'll understand what I'm talking about here. But onto the music itself. Very unorthodox, very twisted. There's an almost certain sense of old hardcore when it comes to the riffs in certain moments of this album, but the black metal elements are very much intact here and are done so very properly, very tastefully. There's a lot of insane musical moments to be had on here, and if you're a fan of what Eosoth and Antaeus do, you will find some solace with the band 6. I really think this is an incredible debut, and very much, hopefully more things will be coming from a project like this, because we do need to have more projects and music from all of the bands that I mentioned in this certain part of the video. So, number 13 on my list is 6 with De Prestigis Angelorum. Coming in at number 12, Undergang, Dodenlager Alessar. The Tilltown Kings of death metal, right here. Undergang, listening to Undergang is like putting on a death metal cassette and hearing the tape get eaten up. That's what it feels like when you listen to something like Undergang. They have a death metal sound that is very true to the roots and very pure, but yet it feels rumbling. It feels nasty. It feels devastating. And throughout the entirety of this record, you get not only this band doing songs in their native Danish language, but also the certain ugliness and heaviness of what Undergang had put out in previous records past. This is a very morbid, dark, and twisted record. I mean, there's a lot of torturous moments to be heard on this record. Very much putting the death in death metal. And Undergang once again prove why they are such a domineering force in the worlds of old school death metal. And Dodenlager Alessar is pretty much very satisfactory and very putrid too. So number 12 on my list is Dodenlager Alessar by Undergang. And to conclude this list, This first part of the list at number 11, Makar Bowman, Gods of War, At War. Out of all of the metal I've listened to in 2015, Gods of War, At War is without a doubt the most theatrical, big-hearted, epic, grandiose sort of releases to be heard all year. But yet it still maintains what you would expect out of the Hellenic style of black metal. Very gallant, very sweeping riffs, diverse vocal styles, the singing, the growling, the screaming, it's just all here. The drum work sounds fantastic. I mean, this is just like, it's like you're watching Ben-Hur, basically. This feels as though you're watching Ben-Hur, or one of those really epically thought together Spartacus sort of movies. That's what you feel when you listen to Gods of War, At War. I mean, I see the sea, Hellenes do not fight like heroes, heroes fight like Hellenes, from son to father. Just some incredible compositions being done here on Gods of War, At War. And Makar Bowman really bring that true beauty to the Hellenic style of black metal. I mean, this is just a marvelous album to listen to all the way through, and I am very happy that a release like this exists. So, on number 11 on my list is Gods of War, At War by Makar Bowman. So that concludes the first part of this list. Stay tuned tomorrow for part 2, number 10 through number 1. I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. And until the next time, Armijo out.